Hello, fellow humans, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Melissa here, back with another video. Whoop whoop. So any updates on my life? School has started. I'm sick. I'm hoping it's not COVID, and work has been hectic. So that's all. I have updates for you. I hope you guys have been well, that you've been good, that you've been enjoying the new year. I hope you guys are well, and I hope that you're excited to hear about some sports romances. Sports romance has been a trope that I is it considered a trope, but I'm going to consider it a trope. Sports romances have been something that I have been into since my start and my dive into romance books. It all started with Mariana Zapata, the queen. After I read Wall of Winnipeg, I was into the whole hockey, football, soccer romances. Like I was on a kick. After that book, I was like, hey, I'm going to be into sports romances. Especially, there's a lot of hockey ones. The hockey sports romances are hitting. We have a few here, but we're also going to mention some Mariana Zapata ones. So not Wall of Winnipeg, because I feel like everybody knows that one, but it's definitely an honorable mention that we can include. So yeah, I hope that you guys will enjoy this video, and please also mention some of your recommendations down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into the video. Hi everyone, it's Editing Melissa. I just realized that I lost the clip where I'm talking about the first novel, which is Culty by Mariana Zapata. So this book is a football, like soccer, sports romance, and it follows this girl who is going to a soccer camp, and then she falls in love with her coach, Culty. He's a very famous soccer player. So this was a forbidden romance, slow burn type of, also friends to lovers. Like they got really close before they got into a relationship, so it was wonderful. Loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. Next, we have another Mariana Zapata book, which is From New Cove with Love. Also gave 5 stars. This one is it's the trope that I always have the most trouble with: enemies to lovers. I know. This one is an ice skating romance. It's slow burn. It is, as I said, enemies to lovers. So like it follows our two characters, Jasmine and Ivan Lukov. Rihanna's father has this thing of naming her books after the main guy's last name. You know what I mean? So they have known each other for a very long time, our two main characters, because they've both been in the ice skating world for since they were younger, and they've always kind of been rivals, to say. Ivan is very popular, and Jasmine, something happened, so she's not able to be at the height that Ivan is. And so she's kind of jealous, but also I feel like they've never been friends. They've always kind of played within their rivalry. And something happens where they have to work together and they have to train together for the upcoming Olympics. And romance ensues. That's all I'm gonna say. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely wonderful. I do want to say that I really liked Jasmine's family in this book. Her family felt very real and very supportive, and she had a really good support system. That's something I remember. I read this book a very long time ago, so sorry if my description is not accurate, but I just remember being in love with her family, and like her and Ivan slowly opening up to each other and like gaining each other's trust, and more so on Jasmine's side than Ivan's side. And I feel like it was one of those books where Ivan, the guy, definitely fell for her first, which is the next book we have is First Flight Final Fall by C.W. Farnsworth. Sorry if I'm pronouncing her last name wrong. She wrote an incredible romance. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. It's a soccer romance, and it follows our two characters, Sailor and Adler. This is actually the most recent book I read out of this whole list. It is, I think I read it beginning of 2022. it is such a I think this book inspired this video because it was so good. Sailor is going to Germany to train at a soccer camp. Sailor is a very good soccer player. She's known within her team and outside of her team as a very up and coming soccer player. So she's going there for like this I think 6 or 8 week program in Germany. And that's where she meets Adler, who is a very professional soccer player who is very popular, known for being dead drop gorgeous, obviously, and drop dead gorgeous. And obviously, like, he's known to be just very good at soccer. And so they're training at the same place. Obviously not on the same team, but at the same place. And their first encounter is when Sailor beats him in like a practice match. Not like a match, but like he was trying to like do something and score the ball into the goal, and he wasn't doing it correctly, so Sailor challenged him to see who would win, and she won. So she was like, that wasn't a good first impression. Can you tell I know nothing about football? I don't know anything about soccer, guys. But I do like reading about it. And I think they had a very good mixture of like interpersonal relationship, and also the sports romance of it, the sports aspect of the romance. So I do feel like this book kind of felt like it was split into two halves for me. The first half was kind of them in Germany, and then the second half was kind of her coming back from Germany and trying like I don't want to spoil it too much, but like it felt like two separate books. The first half in Germany and the second half after Germany. You know what I mean? And that was something I just wasn't expecting. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I just wasn't expecting it. You know what I mean? Next, we have the epitome of sports romances, guys. Like literally, this is one of the first books I read on Kindle, and one of the first books that got me into romance, and one of the first authors that also got me into romance. Him by Al Kennedy. I feel like you guys have all heard about this book. It is a hockey romance from these two guys, Jamie and Ryan. They used to be friends, but then something happened, and now they're enemies, and then they go back to friends, and then they go back, and then they go to lovers. This is like a multi-book series following the same couple, Jamie and Ryan. I think there's about 3 books now. I've read the first 2. I'm not sure if the third one is coming out or if it's already out. I'll check on that. But I loved this series. I loved Jamie and Ryan. If I could have given it 10 stars, I would have given it 10 stars. Because that's how good this book is, guys. It is like, so I forgot which of the 2 guys, Jamie or Ryan, but they used to go to like this hockey little league camp when they were younger, like in their early teens, around that time, and they were best of buds at this camp. And now it is years later, and they're both professional hockey players, and one of them is still very pissed at the other, to be like, why after you did this, you didn't even come to say anything, you didn't let me know what happened, you just did this thing and disappeared. And so that's kind of like where the enemies aspect comes in. They don't really hate each other. It's just one person is just holding a grudge, and the other one is very pining after this person, being like, I still really like you since I was a kid, and I want to continue this, but I don't know if we can, because I think their 2 hockey teams are like opposing, like they're rivals. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but like I just remember enjoying this and eating this book up. And I feel like it's a gay romance, and I feel like the way that they incorporate coming out into this in the sports world, especially the hockey scene, they incorporated it so well in this book. And also the relationship progression between Jamie and Ryan felt so tangible, and it felt understandable at the pace that they were moving at. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't insta love. They weren't okay, once they forgave each other, they were trying to build their trust between each other back again. Like it wasn't just I forgive you, now we're gonna date. Like it's mostly like I forgive you, but I still don't trust you. And then it moved from I trust you now we're friends, but now I realize I still have feelings for you. Now we're lovers. You know what I mean? Second last one we have here is Hard Hitter by Serena Bowen. I feel like I'm just mentioning such popular authors in the romance world. Serena Bowen writes such good romances, and Hard Hitter is another hockey romance, which is kind of also enemies to lovers, but not in a way, not in the way that you think. So it follows Patrick and Ari. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. It follows Patrick and Ari. Ari is a physical therapist, and she's kind of like the physical therapist for these football teams, these hockey teams. Sorry, and Patrick is the captain of a particular hockey team, and he's injured, but he's very stubborn. So he does not want to go to a physical therapist. He doesn't think that it will help, and he's completely against it. But his manager or coach forces him to go, and that kind of is where the enemies to lovers aspect kind of comes in. I wouldn't describe it as enemies to lovers. It's just that Patrick is very reluctant to be in physical therapy and to have a physical therapist because he thinks he doesn't need it. And Ari is trying to convince him of why she is needed for him. And I think that it was so cute just seeing him loosen up and kind of like be more open to physical therapy, and kind of are like he's kind of like a cold guy, and Ari is kind of a very warm, bubbly person. So I feel like their dynamics were so cute because it was like two opposites falling in love. And I feel like, yeah, I don't remember much about this book, but I do remember loving it. I gave it 4 stars though, but I still really liked it. So the last book, actually, not the next book, the last book is Scoring Wilder by R.S. Gray. I have seen this book on so many lists for sports romances, and I only recently, maybe a few months ago, read it. Like, it's taken me forever to read this book. It is a soccer romance. I didn't give it the best star rating, but I do think that it just wasn't for me, but it may be for other people. So I gave this book 3 stars, and it follows Kingsley and Liam, and it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same premise as Culty, where Kingsley is coming to practice at this football team, and Liam is the coach. And obviously it's very forbidden. It's like not or at all acceptable to sleep with your coach and to even date your coach, even if they're both of age. So it's kind of that forbidden aspect. I don't really remember much about the book. I just remember it giving me very similar vibes to Culty, and maybe that's why I didn't give it 5 out of 5 stars, because I was comparing it to Culty the whole time. But I feel like it does try to differentiate itself, and I found it cute. I did find it very cute. That's why I left it last, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to include this book or not, but I did find it really cute, and I did like the relationship. And even though they were reluctant to get together, the end result felt satisfying. You know what I mean? Okay, everybody, that's all the books I have for you today. I hope you liked this video and that you enjoyed some of my recommendations, that there were some books maybe you knew and some books that you didn't know of. So I really do hope you enjoyed. And please maybe comment down some sports romance that you guys enjoyed, that you felt like was like, wow, this is actually really good. So yeah, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.